Good morning. My name is Craig Anczelowitz, artist, designer, craftsperson, businessman, here to introduce you to my world of art, design, and craft. Originally from New York, educated in fine art, printmaking, papermaking, painting, drawing, and fortunately grew up in a creative house with lots of art, design, and eclectic collections about. Undoubtedly, this influenced my current aesthetic of collaging, incorporating different materials from both Eastern and Western cultures into my artworks. I use a lot of handmade paper from my in-laws' paper mill, where I currently serve as international director. And I have a long history with paper design and crafts. And that combined with my eclectic upbringing and my international travels have enabled me to move in this creative direction. And then after I graduated from university, I had the fortunate opportunity of working as a buyer and product designer. First for a paper company, then for probably New York's most famous interior design furniture company, and then onto Urban Outfitters, which is a chain of hundreds and hundreds of stores. These jobs enabled me to travel around the world collaborating with artists in many countries: South America, Europe, Asia, working in all kinds of materials from blown glass in Venice to silk textiles in India to ceramics and wood carvers here in Thailand. I was based here actually in Thailand for almost 15 years, working in Bangkok and Chiang Mai. A lot of manufacturers at that time in home decor were having trouble keeping up with the influx of Chinese and Vietnam, as they were providing, and they had opened up their market and were basically providing similar type products and crafts at a much lower price. So I was able to come in here almost as a hired gun, working as a design consultant and helping these struggling companies reach an international market. Their market share was really going down overseas, particularly in the States, which is a huge market. So one thing led to another. One company had asked me, this company I had established a relationship before when I was working as a buyer in New York. We had a lot of success. 1-2 collections later, they were on the world stage. So other companies started asking me, and what turned into what was supposed to be a short stay in Thailand ended up in almost 15 years. And I was able to work in a variety of mediums, from textiles and silver to wood and ceramic to resin, mosaics and more. So once again, this eclectic background and growing up in New York in this interesting environment, and then working with designers around the world really not only helped me as a viable consultant and designer, but also gave me another layer of information and knowledge to create the artworks that are here at 19. Yeah, here at 19, virtually all 70 of these pieces were created within the last 2 or 3 years. While they all incorporate washi paper and are made on handmade washi paper, there are a few different series within the assortment. The series that you're looking at behind me incorporates a variety of Japanese vintage antique texts. These actual texts on these pieces are created, they're taken from 17th and 18th century books. So I have the fortunate opportunity to into a world of antiques in Japan due to my relationship, my wife's family, and the paper mill. So most of the works that are in the show are divided into a few different series. While all are on washi, some are more text-driven, while some are more vintage, Mieko-san, or female-oriented. There are a few abstract pieces as well that stand alone on themselves, but once again, they also incorporate vintage papers, Japanese washi. Most of the pieces here also incorporate very special hand-dyed indigo papers, as well as Japanese lacquer papers. There are other series that I work on. Normally I'm working on 2 or 3 series at any one given time. And this enables me to kind of free up myself in case I get into a bit of a corner and I don't know where to move next on a certain collection. I can bounce around a little bit from collection to collection. But the works here at 19 are all really new and very, very multi-layered. And I see all of them almost as books or stories. So as you read into the piece and take time, the story unfolds like an onion and layers unfolding. So special secret is that on the backs of many of these pieces, there's also additional stories. So the gallery was nice enough to hang some of these pieces like behind me so that the viewer can see the back, which holds a special treat when you see. So for this particular show, I created a very site-specific work. Being that the gallery itself is 2 levels, I made a nearly 7-meter long work that I call calligraphy boro, calligraphy as in the art of handwriting, and in kanji, Japanese, and boro, B-O-R-O, which is a type of patchwork. The piece hangs from within the atrium of the gallery and is a combination of, once again, 17th and 18th century vintage books that have been hand painted and collaged. And then on top of that, there's hundreds of small calligraphic musings or poems or insights on daily life that were written by my wife's grandfather, Mieko Fujimori, who was the 6th generation master paper maker at Awagami Factory, Japan. So we had unearthed a box of these poetic writings on narrow strips of Japanese paper. And there were so many of them, and they were just sitting in a box, and I was wondering, oh, it's a shame he made so many, and he really was a good calligraphic artist. I want to use these pieces. So my father-in-law told me, please go ahead and take them and use them as you will. So these musings, of which there's probably about 200 of them on the piece, talk about daily life, the changing of the seasons, as well as his life as a master craftsman in Japan. So some of the poems or the musings might say, the sun is shining, the plum blossoms are blooming, or some might say the paper makers are working hard in today's cold air, or some might say something of that nature. But they were all handwritten by him, and they're really meaningful. And it's important to me personally, as I really enjoyed my time with him while he was alive. And this I see as a collaboration between him and I. So I'm happy that his efforts are being also seen by so many people visiting the gallery. So please check out that piece. It's really, really special.